And before we begin our panel discussion, we are pleased to invite our partner, Lexus, to share a short introduction about their latest culinary journey named SцагNG Việt Nam. So please, everyone, enjoy our short video.
Chủ tạo ra một cái menu tận dụng những cái nguyên liệu của Sapa theo giá trị của Lexus.
Sự nguyên bản đến từ mình sử dụng các nguồn nguyên liệu như gạo Việt Nam.
Các ẩm thực của mình là muốn kể một cái câu chuyện và vừa được nâng lên và giới thiệu về những cái nguyên liệu của Việt Nam.
Không có Sapa không nấu, đó là nguyên tắc đầu tiên của chef Hương.
Thì đây cũng là những cái phẩm trà rất đặc biệt của dãy Hoàng Liên. Có được một cái khu quần thể trà được gọi là có tuổi thọ cũng như là giá trị lớn nhất Việt Nam.
Pairing của ngày hôm nay dựa trên 3 tiêu chí là nguyên bản, tinh hoa và sáng tạo.
Lexus và SцагNG Việt Nam rất là công phu và thực sự là các bạn rất là tinh tế.
Cùng với các nguyên liệu độc bản, nguyên bản của Sapa nhưng mà nâng lên một cái tầm hương vị mới mà chúng tôi chưa được thưởng thức bao giờ.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hương from Lexus Việt Nam. So you may know that I'm from the automotive industry, and this might be not so related to the F&B. So today I'm a non-F&B, and I will tell the story how a non-F&B treat the F&B and tell the story about F&B. And thanks a Rock Report to give me this research chance to share about SцагNG Việt Nam. Here's the SцагNG Việt Nam I want to share about it. So what is SцагNG Việt Nam? The inspiration, what is the story behind? So you know that Vietnam, we are very lucky to have so many things, interesting things to work with. We have amazing landscapes and refined cultures and authentic local ingredients. So before this, I often think that because I work for a luxury brand, so how we can bring the experience beyond the steering wheel. And far behind in my mind, I'm a Vietnamese, so I have the Vietnamese pride in my heart. What I work, I want to contribute to my country, how I can bring the experience and promote Vietnam to beyond the borders. So everyone often know that Vietnam is destination of street food, but we want to realize the dream that we want to realize Vietnam as a destination of fine dining and luxury experiences. So that is the dream behind this. And yes, we have amazing landscape. We have a lot of pristine beaches. We have fantastic mountainous areas, and we have a deep story, local cultures. And thanks to that diverse geographical, we have a lot of ingredients. And so that is perfect background for us to design this SцагNG Việt Nam, a special and distinctive culinary journey for all the participants. So next slide. Yes, so you can see on the slide, SцагNG Việt Nam is a culinary journey that will bring the participants travel through taste, cultures, craftsmanship, and celebrate the spirits of Vietnamese sophistication. So yes, we invite the participants, we call them the experiential master. The core here are the chef and sommeliers, and I can see that thanks to Chef for this season, and Shet Thảo now last season. We have implemented this for 2 seasons in last year. And we have travel and lifestyle influencers, we have media and the customers and photographers. All of them we call the experiential masters because we want them to experience our journeys and tell the story. So, of course, there's a culinary. So, culinary is the core. And I have, because I'm non-F&B, so I cannot have very expertise knowledge about F&B, but from the inside of the non-F&B people and from the consumers, I have a challenge to the chef. The first one is how you can utilize very fresh and typical local ingredients. That's maybe very humble, like the ChenG or the village pork. How you can utilize that to bring this and promote it at the fine dining and bring it to the table. And second thing is that how you can upgrade the street food. So let me tell you a story. Last year when we do the first seasons in Dalat, so I challenged Chef Thảo Na that I love the bánh tráng nướng, that's a grilled rice paper. That's the street food in Dallas. I challenged her that how you can bring this to the fine dining. And they can see that, that street food is really, really luxury and premium cuisine. And then Thảo Na realized it. She brings to our table and make everyone surprised because she adds the caviar. Caviar that is grown and raised in a 20 years farm in Dallas. And she brings it to the table, and everyone very surprised, and we feel very satisfied with that. And another story this year is that I also challenged Chef Chu about how you can bring the village pork. That's a black pork, a pig, often raised in the villages. So he used the slow cook technique for the grilled village porks. And everyone is very surprised. Another things I can tell, like the corn, we use the corn for the cake. So many stories. So what I mean here is that I always challenge the 2 things: how you can utilize the local ingredients and how you can upgrade street food. That's very simple and humble things to the fine dining. So we can level up the Vietnamese culinary. So that is the point. And next slide. So when we design these journeys, the cultures for everyone to discover is very important. So as you can see here, that this year we come to Sapa, so everyone can experience the house, the home, the minority people do the indigo dyeings, and the guests will enjoy dye into indigo, and also the shanty this year, and last year is the coffee in the highland. So when we bring the experiential master to each land, we often design the very local experience for them to enjoy. Yes, and many people will think that because we are the automotive brand, so we tell a lot about cars. But in these trips, car is not the main star. Car is just the companions that a friend and bring a safe and comfortable for everyone to enjoy the experiences. So the car here is the friend of all the participants. And about the storytellers, everyone often thinks that now many ones tell about the storytellings, and we often think that brand should be the storyteller. But in my opinion, the brand should provide the experience and make the participants immerse in that. And each participant will have their own way of thinking, they have their own aspect and own view, and then they will present and convey and tell the story in their own ways. So experiential master will be the storytellers. And that's all what I want to share with you today. Thank you so much. And and the last but not least, I want to share this. When I start this idea, I have to share with you that I want to realize the dream that Vietnam is a destination of fine dining and luxury experience. And when we finish this trip, we also share that's a best practice among the countries. And some countries have volunteered that they will send the customer to Vietnam to join this. It means that they're willing to buy and enjoy the luxury experience in Vietnam. So I think that's a good signal for us to level up all the fine dining experience in Vietnam. So that's my sharing. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for wonderful ideas.
Idea and bring all of these elements blended together to bring such a journeys to the participants. So as I said, that Vietnam is perfect. We have perfect background to develop such idea and bring the amazing experiences to all the participants.
That's great. She's telling the truth. I can only we have kind of like a very famous chef with a kind of like a highly curated menu, but it's in a restaurant, in a resort, or in hotels. So we appreciate. But for Lexus, for example, our dinner is completely different. We are sitting on the top of the mountain. It's kind of like in the afternoon, and we are dining when we see each other with some kind of cloud flying through our kind of like around our body, and we look at the step, kind of like the mountains and all the streams and everything. It's completely different. So talking about kind of like storytelling, so Jon, you told me about kind of like you guys are using even fairy tale to tell in
telling as the foundation for the experience. And with that, each dish, each course of a tasting menu tells a different story and based on different Vietnamese folklore. And with the menu of like 7 courses, then that will be 7 different stories. As you can imagine, that could be quite confusing for the guests if we're not doing right. So what we did is we kind of ties everything together into one overarching story. And it's about Chef Kien, who's also my childhood friends. And back when we were little, there used to be a lot of power outages. If you're Vietnamese, you know what I'm talking about. And in the darkness, Chef Kien's grandmother would tell him stories of Vietnamese folklore. And in the darkness, in the room, the stories are the lights that illuminate the room. And the whole menu is the tribute from the chef to his grandmother. And so, if you look about it, if the guests understand that the entire experience is a gift from the chef to his grandmother, rather than just a collection of stories, then the experience becomes much more profound, meaningful, and personal. Yeah.
Quite a simple question, but also not very simple. So I think you are talking about is the guest experience. So I think the guest experience started way before they step in the door. So I think coming from a hotel background, I only joined F&B for the last 5 years. So the standard operating procedures have always been the backbone of my management. But it's the flexibility of operating a standalone establishment is what draws me into the dining scene. And also I have an obsessed passion for food and the upscale dining scene as well. So if we talk about the guest experience back in the day, so in fine dining, it has a lot of focus in formality, precision, and also like hierarchy in fine dining. So such as like white tablecloth, scripted service, precision, very on time. So fine dining establishments are expected to deliver like excellence through refinements, flawless techniques, and also top-notch service. I think in today modern gastronomy or also modern hospitality, that has shifted a little bit. So I think guests, they value connections, and also I think I shared with Huy before as well. I think authenticity is very important as well. So guests, they no longer want to feel served. They want to feel care and remember. So it's very important for restaurants to understand the database of their current customers. So let's say for a typical guest experience would look like this. So, so before guests would find the restaurants, or let's say on their official website or booking platform, they then make a reservations. Or maybe they phone up the restaurants. They show up, they have their dinner, and then they leave. That's a typical kind of like guest experience. So I think in today's world, guests are more demanding, and I think the very first touch point would surely be online. And I think it's very crucial for restaurants to have an online presence. And sometimes the aesthetics of the restaurants is also a key driving factor that make the guests make reservations. Yeah, so I think, so that's why, and when the guests come, the restaurant probably already know like the preferences in food and drinks, and if they've been in the restaurants before, what they did like, what they did not like, and how restaurants can, leverage technology to, accommodate to that needs and to elevate their guest experience. Yeah, so I always tell my team, like, having a good system like CRM system, or mastering the database for for our guests who really will be very crucial to the business. Yeah. So with that, we can leverage the technology to elevate the guest experience and also satisfaction. But at the end of the day, it still lies within the human connection. So it has to have hospitality, and hospitality has to come from a place of compassion and genuinity. Yeah, so I think in general, finding is all about details.
Activity. So can you share some ideas?
Well, we'd love to. So first of all, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, brothers, sisters, all people in F&B, it's a pleasure to be here for the first time. So with all these distinguished ladies and gentlemen here. So I'm a sommelier. So you've been following this profession for probably 15 years. So probably 10 years ago, if you're talking about sommeliers, there's not many information. So sommelier is actually a very specific term for a person in the restaurant taking care of the wine. So that's very classic if you've been to Europe, to UK, France, for example. So you have that particular dialect worrying about it's a classic Polish. Is the temperature of the bottle is correct? So that's a very exclusive term for that type of service. And here in Vietnam, we're also talking about sommeliers. It's like we are trying to work. Sommeliers is a part of the team. So first of all, it's a very good point from the two gentlemen. It's of course, storytelling. Storytelling comes from, for example, the chef inspirations. For example, you both have two great menus. Everyone should try. And then the chef, that's a chef inspiration, but how we can deliver that inspiration to our staff, to do the training to our staff, and so that from the staff we transfer to our clients. It's a lot of hard work on training, for example. For fine dining, for example, I think that we have been to, fine dining has been moving. There's so many restaurants here in Vietnam, been doing for 15 years, 20 years of fine dining. But there's also a gap of bistro. But there are so many bistro can embrace a good dining experience, not only in the fine dining at the same time. Delivering the story from the chef is about the food. For us, it's about the wine. It's about the beverage. And it's been improving a lot from sommelier becoming to a beverage director. We're starting to learn more, not only about wine, but also coffee, tea, sake, spirit, and also other cocktails. So it's not only about wine, but wine is the main object. And it's also one of the main driven for the profitability at the same time. Our story, I'm fortunate to, of course, I trained myself here. I've been to Germany, short time, working in the vineyard, working with the producer, with the farmers, and I deliver from that to the class and to the joy of final consumer. And I understand the story is very important. People are looking for us, for restaurant. Of course, now everything is online, right? We are living in a flat world. Everything is online. And how the client is reaching us, mostly social media is one thing, but a very strong delivery in wording, mouth, word of mouth is actually one of the key ones, especially for people that being experienced a lot. So that's the first thing.
So second, of course, the client heard about a restaurant or hotel when they've been. When they come, they experience like a person on floor. Very fortunate to have people working in FO in front. So like we all experience different type of clients, different reference, and I believe like it's sometimes like clients the one who change us and embrace us to become better, and it's a lot of sharing. And for the storytelling, even like the staff for training, and I heard like in the restaurant to do that kind of telling the fairy tale. How many hours do you have to work for that?
So it's all about what's the structure of a good story. How do you tell story using your body language, voice control, and we have a minimum. Each employee had a minimum of 56 hours of storytelling training before the menu starts. And we've been very blessed with a very hardworking team. And the key here for story is, if you think about it, what makes a good story or movie? If you can think of your favorite movie, then you see that first, you have the context, right? The character, the settings, the normal world. Then something happens and disrupts that world. And for the entire movie, the main character overcame challenges. And by the end, the audience feels satisfied because a conflict has been resolved. And so for us, fine dining is the same. We set up everything before the guests arrive. Who's the chef? What's the philosophy? What's the food behind it? And during the meal, we try to tell a story using experience, using the food, the service. And if we did it right, then by the end, the guests were left satisfied emotionally, not just physically. And I think storytelling is very important.
Lexus doing with the sense of Vietnam, that all the brand, all the partners come together to tell this one story. And actually, I believe that after the event, all the partners are all beneficial from that. Not just coming with the logo, sitting somewhere else and try to tell their own story to the audience. Not telling with one story together, right? So Hương, tell us more about kind of like how to combine, how to cooperate with all the brands for the success of kind of like Sense Vietnam.
Yes, I think that's great questions. And we cooperate with each other. So that's the key point. In the Sense Vietnam journeys, we understand that among our core values, which are the ones that match with food at F&B. So we choose among those the authentic, refined, and imaginative. And through three values, we will see which partners most match with us, and we go with them. So I would like to also send my special thanks to our partners. Last year is Anamandra Balad and La An Resort. And this year is Sapa Jet Hill and Vin de Mont. They are great partners.
Well, next year.
Yes. And also special thanks to Red Apron as well, Huy. Yes, although along with it more sake. So let me tell more about this. And it's quite linked with the land we choose. Because last year when we go to Dalat, we see that, this is like a French cuisine. And so for French cuisine, we should find the partner is the wine. And when we come to Sapa, Sapa is very famous for very local minority people food. And in that case, we should choose sake. Sake is made from rice. It's very good pairing between the Northwest food and the sake. So that's why we choose sake and we choose more. And we also see that the chef is chosen in that way. We choose the chef that most match with the land. So all you will see that is the fusions, and all of that will blend and harmonize together very beautifully. to bring the experience. So that's the way we can like call in for the cooperation among the brands. So we should choose that share the value with us and match with the land we discover.
Between brands, Jon and Daniel, you guys want to say something? But Hương, talked too much about Huy already.
We have to really be careful. So for one example, right now at SÄNG, we partner up with the Mystic Night Show. It is a magic experience, and in collaboration, we kind of combine everything together into a dining experience that combines storytelling, magic, and gastronomy. And when two creative forces join together, it's very easy to try to do too much. The show itself is 2 hours. The fine dining experience normally is also 2 hours. That's already 4 hours. And how do we compress that into just over 2 hours, right? And so we have to make a deliberate choice, simplify the storyline, focus on clarity, and unite under one great shared story. And for that, we have to set aside our own story for the occasion and to have one shared storyline. So yes, collaboration between brands can definitely enhance the guest experience, but only if all parties are disciplined enough to keep it simple.
Maybe Daniel want to say something, but I have to follow our timeline a little bit because there's other guys standing over there looking at me. Finding in the own premise. When you deliver that outside, when you do catering, and we need to maintain that kind of level, probably going to be tailored menu, right? It's not maybe some signature dish from the chef. Probably they have to incorporate some dishes that's particular tailor for the brands as well. Exactly what we have done for Đà Lạt and so that for the Central Vietnam. And I think we will have a very good discussion after answering Mr. Paul's questions. And for you, Paul, for example, I used to work in hotel and restaurant, and then I moved to the wine industry probably now it's like 10 years when it made me move to the wine industry. And the thing is just like, one thing I want to persuade restaurant investor and also like owner and the chef is like, of course, like when you say like, of course, chef is the soul. Chef is the soul of a restaurant. When you're talking about the mind, when you're talking about the pleasure, the indulgence, sommelier is the one can create very good, and they can actually generate a very good product. So first of all, if you think about like Vietnam, of course, they will start to have more and more sommeliers working in restaurant. And we still have in hotel as well. And what's the role and how the profit you can invest into a sommeliers. First of all, they are the one who actually moderate all of the departments. They are the one working with restaurant manager. They deal with the chef. If the chef doesn't like them, you talk to the restaurant manager to deal with the chef for them sometimes. But like it's a very dynamic positions. And most of it we're talking about investment. So for example, the wine and the profit the wine can make to your restaurant. There's many ways you can calculate for the profit, for example. But if you think about like a sommelier, if he opened a bottle of wine, the equipment, the training that he received or amount of knowledge, but actually the head count, the restaurant opened the position for one or maybe two sommeliers. But the profit that bring back can sometimes equivalent to a team of kitchen of 10 people. If you're selling 1 or 2 bottles of wine. So even like they are the one who generate a very good cash flow without much of stocking. They only invest for a sommelier one, a very good touring, a very good wine chiller, some bottle of wine for him to sell, for her to sell. And then you can make a nice decanter glassware. And you can generate a very good, I don't want to say cash machine, but this is a really, really good way of the investment. That's the first thing. And second, like for people, of course the sommelier is not the 10 people they want. Like a lot of young people call me, I want to be sommelier. Have you ever been working in a restaurant? No, I mean like if you send me, you don't know how to clean your plate. If you don't know how to communicate with clients, if you don't have soft skill, it's very hard for you to become sommeliers only, because like you are a part of a team. You are distinguished. You have your own job, but at the same time you have to work together with everyone. So that's very important. Like staff trends. I think like I've been consulting like to some restaurants. Like of course you're looking for sommelier. You're hiring sommeliers, but why don't you look into your staff, into your team, into your crew? There's some person is very standing out and very love to learn about wine. You want to step it a little bit. We have another term, not sommelier, we call wine steward. So the wine steward, which is starting positions for people, they get the interest about wine. Like barista or bartender, for example. So after that, he or she can follow the chef, follow a restaurant manager to become more deeper into wine, and they take the certification, studying, learning, and then after that, he or she can become a sommelier. And it's very international, because like sommelier, you can work actually a lot different parts of the industry. You can work in the wine industry, like me, you can work in a restaurant or hotel, you can work even abroad. So it's a very dynamic, and for me personally, I'm only trying to convince investor in restaurant, always thinking about open that type positions for all. So that's my answer to you. I think it's good, Paul. It's in different places. Actually, they plan very clearly. It's about like how to move people and how to move all the equipment and how to bring exactly the same. And actually, the chef thing. I mean, the chef can explain to you more how they can maintain the quality, like 9, 10 quality in a restaurant or 10, 10. But they have to maintain exactly the same level at the cooking venue. Very, very different. I think like both of the Russian CoCo and also Ben been working quite a lot on catering. So I think like let's keep it quick. Like, can you give me advantage and difficulties? I mean, like disadvantage, you can say that like what was the benefit for you when you view as catering can create more of customer engagement and also like the brand to the restaurant.
For restaurants to do catering, you're able to tap in a new pool of customers as well. Maybe it's being hosted at one of Lexus event, or it's being hosted at one of the retail places. So you're being able to tap in a new market, and you're expanding your dimensions. And also the ability to test your team, not just the front of house team, but also like kitchen team, and if you have an events team, to see how they coordinate with each other. So I think it's great in that sense. The cons, I would say, maybe we were not able to stay true to our identity, because there are certain limitations when it comes to catering. I think especially for chef, I think you can relate to this. If you're doing catering and if you don't have the right equipment and you don't have enough team, because sometimes you have to keep the restaurants open and you have to do catering as well. You don't have enough manpower to do it. Exactly. So you may not be able to sustain the quality that you want. And also for the front of house team as well. So they might not have the efficient storage or stations to deliver the best experience as they could have delivered in the restaurant itself on their own premises. Yeah.